won't black down tour. We're not going to quiet down. We're not going to settle down. We won't black down. That's what this bus tour is all about.
We have the biggest vote and the biggest impact in this election, so we really need to get out and rally around the areas that are affecting us the most.
I'm voting for health care. I'm voting for the right to choose. I'm voting because I have a right to vote.
I'm voting for a woman's right to choose.
When we come together and when we work together, we win, and we will not black down.
This is the way that we have power through our vote.
I care about energy justice. I care about environmental justice. And I care about social justice.
Day one actually was record-breaking voter turnout.
It's about us.
We spread the word and exercise our rights. There's no telling what we can do.
North Carolina, in your favor, can reshape this country.
There ain't nothing they can do to stop us, y'all. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
You'll be there on Tuesday. We won't back down.
Let me see you put your fist out the window.
Let's make a change. Let's do this.
Power Building Day is here.
Go out there and vote.
My vote counts.
We won't back down. We want to change this nation so that we have the kind of America that we desire and we deserve. We have to stand and create as much love as possible and build as much power.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Voters Matter Policy Corner in pursuit of the promise of Juneteenth. My name is Anza Becknell. I'm the Warrant Clinic manager here at Black Voters Matter, and I'm also the founder of Growing Real Alternatives Everywhere, also known as GRAY. And tonight, we're here to bring to you a discussion on the Warrant Clinic and the implications on this program on our folks. The Warrant Clinic is a one-day community court event held on a Saturday to help our people get rid of warrants and traffic and misdemeanor court. A lot of our folks are dealing with serious issues in traffic court, misdemeanor court, and we like to say these are minor charges that have maximum penalties. Our folks end up missing court, they can't pay a fee or a fine, and we end up with warrants. And so what we've done is we've created a program called the Warrant Clinic, where we can bring people in on a Saturday in a court environment created by the community so that people can get the help and the aid they need. And tonight we have some partners from around the country who have helped execute these clinics. And we're gonna have a conversation about the importance of the Warrant Clinic, the implications of it on our folks in the future, and really what this process has meant to us. And we're also gonna hear a little bit about the impact this had in the field. The Warrant Clinic is really our effort as a community to say that we can create court for ourselves. We can create the type of process and the type of programming through the justice system that serves our folks in the community more efficiently and effectively. You know, when Black folks are creating court for ourselves, here at BVM, we ask ourselves, how do we lean into our culture in creating court for ourselves? How do we lean into Black culture to create court for ourselves? So the question would be, if we're creating court, what would be at our court? Would we have food? Would we have music? Would we have childcare? Would we have transportation to and from court? Would you have law enforcement? Would you have a bailiff in the courtroom? Would the judge be up on a bench and the people down underneath? Or would the judge and the community be at eye level? And so in our attempts to create court for ourselves, we really leaned into Black culture, and we really have created plenty of clinics around this country where you have a DJ and a food truck outside, where you have a vibe inside of the courtroom that is stress-free. And we've gone above and beyond to work with judges, district attorneys, to make sure that our folks are getting the relief they need. And so today, we're going to speak with some folks out of Michigan, out of Georgia, specifically about what's happening in their areas, and then what we hope to do in the future to try to make this Warrant Clinic process permanent in the country. So with that, I am going to pass it to Mr. Devin Branch, our Warrant Clinic coordinator at Black Voters Matter. And take it away, Devin.
Thank you, Anza. Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Branch, and I am the Warrant Clinic coordinator for Black Voters Matter. But before we go into more about the clinic, just a little bit about the organization Black Voters Matter. Black Voters Matter, or BVM as we call it, is a nonprofit organization that seeks to increase power in our communities by giving resources to grassroots partner organizations to build their capacity to fight against gentrification of our communities, the criminalization of our people, environmental injustice, and our lack of access to capital and healthcare. BVM also advocates for policies that expand voting rights and creates programs and campaigns using an approach that centers our culture and empowers our people to organize 365 days a year. And we seek to achieve these goals with following our 5 core beliefs. The first is that the key to effective civic engagement and community power is understanding, respecting, and supporting local infrastructure. Number 2, that Black voters matter not only on election day, but 365 days a year. Number 3, that Black voters matter everywhere, including in our rural communities and smaller cities and towns, places that are often ignored. Number 4, that in order for Black voters to matter, we must utilize authentic messaging which speaks to our issues and connects with our hopes and affirms our humanity. And number 5, that the leadership, talent, and commitment demonstrated by Black women in particular must receive recognition and, more importantly, investment in order to flourish and multiply. So that's a little bit about our organization. And now that you've heard a little bit about what we do at BVM, we want to introduce those who will participate in our discussion tonight. So first, of course, there was Anza, who will be our moderator and the host tonight, who is the Warrant Clinic manager for Black Voters Matter. We also will be joined by Kermit Williams and Autumn Butler, and they are co-directors of Oakland Forward, which is a partner organization helping to put together the first Warrant Clinic north of the Mason-Dixon line. We will also be joined by Eddie White, who is the president of Helping Others Foundation of Georgia, who has helped us on multiple Warrant Clinics as well as other events in Georgia and Macon in particular. And Wanda Mosley, who was the national field director of Black Voters Matter. So I will now pass it back to Anza, who will lead off our discussion on the Warrant Clinic. Thank you. But before that, we will be showing a video of the Warrant Clinic that was put together by our wonderful comms team.
Hello, this is Anza on the blackest bus in America here in Raleigh, North Carolina at the first Warrant Clinic here in Wake County. And we're here at the end. It's been a long day, but it's been a very productive day. We had almost 200 people sign up for this Warrant Clinic, and we were able to see about a third of those today. The community came out in large number. The environment was very upbeat. It was very uplifting. The vibe was wonderful. And it was important for folks in our community to see Black people creating court for themselves. You had everything that's in a regular court: a district attorney, a judge, court clerks. But what you also had, which makes this different, is you had the community leading the way.
My name is Dakota, and I came here to get my 3 charges dismissed and my license back, and everything worked out.
What were your initial thoughts when you first heard about the Warrant Clinic, and were you afraid to attend?
I thought when I came I was gonna go to jail or something, or not have my license. I haven't had my license for 4 years, and I got them back today. I can get them back tomorrow if I want to, or Monday, and I got my charge dismissed. I can get my apartment now. They denied my apartment because of my charges. I can get my apartment now, so everything worked out. This is a wonderful program.
So how has your feelings changed after showing up today?
I want to cry. Because I would have had to pay bond money, and I would have never got my license back if it weren't for y'all. I appreciate it. And I'm not afraid to cry because I'm thankful. I appreciate it so much.
Why is it important for communities to hold this event? And what was the mood here versus going into actual court?
Because they would lock you up in court. If they found out you have a warrant, they would take you to jail. And I mean, I was scared, but I didn't think that they would set me up to go to jail, so I felt a lot better. I got prayed for, and I got my charges dismissed, and I'm not in jail, so that just shows everything right there.
Do you have any words for the organizations who put this event together?
I do. God bless y'all, and I appreciate this program.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to our Policy Corner in the promise of Juneteenth. So as we begin our panel with our great panelists here, I'm going to kind of tee us up for a second. Juneteenth is a holiday, y'all, when we celebrate the legacy of freedom for Black people. However, the truth is our struggle for freedom continues today. For many of our people, a warrant or something as simple as a traffic ticket or a petty low-level misdemeanor charge can mean arrest and jail time, and for far too many, even death. Last summer, we hosted Warrant Clinics across the South. This year, Black Voters Matter is kicking off our Freedom Summer with a clinic in Pontiac, Michigan. The Pontiac Clinic will be the first Warrant Clinic that we will host north of the Mason-Dixon line. Our effort is to bring the Warrant Clinic to other parts of the country, and that stems from an understanding that the problems that the Warrant Clinic was created to address are not only limited to the states of the former Confederacy. These problems exist everywhere. After all, we're in America. It's kind of like what Brother Malcolm X said. As long as you are south of the Canadian border, you are in the South. Black Voters Matter is hosting Warrant Clinics with our partners across the country to challenge systems that harm our people. We aim to create community courts that reflect a reimagining of the legal system and reflects the needs, values, and cultures of our community. Tonight, y'all, you're going to learn about the Warrant Clinic program. You will also hear from our partners, of course, and we really hope that you enjoy this event, and in the frame of Juneteenth, that you agree with us that we all have to be together to further the struggle for our people. So let's get into it. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well. Thank you.
I'm excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for joining tonight to talk about the Warrant Clinic. So I'm going to start with our partners in Pontiac, and we'll start with you, Mr. Kermit Williams. Why are the Warrant Clinics so critical to Black communities across the country today?
Anza, thank you for having us at Oakland Forward. Thank you to Black Voters Matter. This is transformational justice. When the idea of the Warrant Clinic came to us, me and Autumn looked at each other and said, we're going to do this in Pontiac. And so this process has been really amazing from the beginning to the end. But really what it does is it not only changes the way we look at the criminal justice system, but it brings the court into partnership with keeping people free. And so in the spirit of Juneteenth, the part of the reason that is celebrated is because some people didn't get the message that they were free. And so with these Warrant Clinics, we're giving them that new message of Juneteenth, that you're free now. And so being able to take care of that paperwork and making sure that they're not in that system is really transformational. There's a statistic that says that 70% of Black men first interaction with the police is at a traffic stop. And out of that comes the warrants, and we know that our prisons are full of people. And Bill of Rights basically says that Black people can be imprisoned or be enslaved as long as they're in prison. And so this is giving people an opportunity not only to realize their freedom, but able for community partners like ourselves to be able to join in that process of helping people get free.
Yes. And Autumn, what are folks in Pontiac on the ground in the community saying to you all about the clinic and about the importance of it?
Well, here in Pontiac, we are extremely excited. At first, people were skeptical. Like, honestly, on the Facebook post, people were thinking it was a scam a little bit in the very beginning. But as we got out there and start to educate people and talking to our neighbors, talking to community residents, it really caught on. People are extremely excited. They can't wait for this to occur because they know that this is an opportunity for them to relieve some of their stress, to get rid of some of the worries and chronic issues they have related to being afraid of getting pulled over and possibly going to jail because they have a warrant. And so now that we've been promoting it and talking about it and doing Facebook Lives, people are ecstatic. Every day, people are trying to get more information. They're calling the office, they're emailing us. And so people are ready for it because they know that this is a transformational thing that we're bringing into the community. And I think they believe that, this is the beginning of more change to come. So it's exciting, and people have truly bought into it.
That's Miss Autumn Butler, y'all, straight out of Pontiac. And Mr. Eddie, you're in Georgia, Macon, Georgia. Can you tell us, what do you think the importance is for the folks in Georgia to have a program like the Warrant Clinic? And then how are our people around the country going to receive this program?
Well, as it was spoken earlier, it's received basically in the beginning with skepticism. But as you know, this is our second one coming up in August. We have one coming in August. And so it's a lot easier. The ground has been tilled before. They know that it's real. I tell you, is that the video that you showed, the lady crying, you have to experience that for yourself. Not only is it a revelation and just wonderful for them, but for you too to be a part of that, to provide that service. And for BVM, for our organization, what they've done for us, they've transformed our organization as we become transformationalists in the neighborhood. So therefore, right, it's just an awesome program. It saves money. Think about it. You're riding dirty. You're looking over your back everywhere you go. You get pulled over, your car get impounded, You get locked up, you got to get bailed out. And so it's transformational for our young people that actually they know that someone cares about them. Then on top of that, it brings the community together because we've shared the information with one person. They call, hey, listen, my cousin, he's got a warrant on him. So let me call him up. I haven't spoke to him in a while, but it'll be good for him. So that helps out the family. And it's just going to be transformative. I tell you, it's just an awesome feeling of being able to share that with your community and to see how they receive it. You know, once they're free. You're talking about Juneteenth, freedom. When you are lifted, when that burden of lifted off of you, the warrants, is that you're just, I mean, people just come out crying, hugging, just want to share their joy, and they're happy, and it helps out the community too, because we got a lot of people going through a lot of things in the community, and this is one thing that can relieve them of a lot of issues, life changing.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie. Thank you for that. And Miss Wanda Mosley, you work all around this country on behalf of BVM. And so I'm sure you've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of our folks around the nation about warrants, about the Warrant Clinic, and how it's soon going to come to their city and their state. Please share with us a little bit of what you've heard, and then also give us a little bit of insight into how the Warrant Clinic fits within the abolitionist framework.
Whew. Yeah, the Warrant Clinic. The word has been used a lot this evening, but it warrants saying it again. It's transformational. It really, truly is an opportunity for our folks to not only experience freedom, tangible freedom, a real piece of freedom, but the fact that it is created, nurtured, executed by the community is another sense and another level of freedom. Like you say, Anza, it's a way for us to understand what we, the community, the people, can do for ourselves, independent of the government. It's basically us saying to the court system, "No, you won't come over here in our community, in our neighborhood. This is how we want court to look. This is how we need the court system to function and operate for us." And so, like Mr. Eddie said, and others have mentioned, once folks get past the skepticism and the fear of arrest, they're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna come down here. Am I gonna get arrested? This sounds like a setup." Once they get past that part, when they see that this event is going to take place at a church, at a rec center, not at the court, not downtown, not at the Justice Center, and then when they pull up and they see the Blackest Bus in America, and they hear a DJ, and might be some people kind of dancing, and it's a food truck, and some kids, and some T-shirts are being given away. Like, well, wait a minute, it's court. What is this? This is a community event, and so it is transformational. It involves our culture. It's led by the community. I mean, look, we cannot do this by ourselves, right? We have to have buy-in from the grassroots community members, leaders, folks who live in the community to say that this is something that's safe and it is the real thing. We come into town talking about it. I'm not sure how many people will show up, but it's these grassroots partners who have these relationships, who have the ear and the trust in the community, but also with the court system. And so it's a fantastic program. I've had the opportunity to attend and to visit. And like Brother Eddie said, when you have been there and you have felt that energy and that love, that power that's on the ground, you yourself are also transformed and changed.
Thank you. We're definitely talking about Juneteenth. You've heard that theme throughout. It's now a national holiday, but it's always been a national holiday for us. And so how does it feel, y'all? How does it feel to be doing this type of work in the spirit of Juneteenth? It's coming up soon in a couple of weeks. How does it feel to be doing this kind of work for freedom in the midst of the holiday? Let's start with you, Autumn.
I think for me, when I think about us doing this work of the Warrant Clinic with Juneteenth rapidly approaching, I think that Juneteenth is commemorating when those who were enslaved finally knew that they were free. And it was like through a legal process. And so I feel like this, with the Warrant Clinics, we are helping people gain their freedom through the legal process, but we know that this is just the first step in the full liberation of our community. So this is a step in the right direction. Here at Oakland Forward, we have our Summer Liberation Democracy Series. And so this fits in so well because we can help people gain their freedom, relieve some of their stress and pressures they have. Like Brother Eddie said, people have so many issues. You know, we're dealing with the systemic oppression and racism. There are so many structural issues that we have to combat. But if we could come in here with our fellow brothers and sisters, with the court, and with everyone else to come in here to present a reimagined way of people doing court in our community, I think that we are just continuing on that path of liberation that we are actually celebrating when we talk about Juneteenth.
Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Eddie, what does Juneteenth mean to you, and how does it feel to be working on the clinic in the midst of Juneteenth coming up?
All 32, just nothing but smiles. But really, I've been a community activist. I've been a union leader, and I've always wanted to help people. But what happened when I was introduced to BVM, we're always looking for different tools to go in your toolbox. Well, BVM wasn't another tool that go in my toolbox. It was a whole tool shop. It was a shop itself. And it's given me the ability to go out and make a difference. Yes, Juneteenth, we're celebrating Juneteenth, but a lot of people are still enslaved. And so therefore, right, we'll talk about what's going on in the community, but we are being about it. We're not talking about it, we're being about it. We're making a difference. And so I'm excited every time that I've done a BVM shirt, every time I wear the little wristband, I'm excited about that. People know the name. They relate me now to BVM. So people that care about the neighborhood water distribution we done today, we're just making a difference any way we can. And that's what it's all about. And so we thank the leaders of BVM for having the opportunity to do a warrant clinic. Again, like I say, it's no greater feeling than to help people, but to be there as they enjoy their freedom, as they come out of that courtroom, free, just lifted up. I mean, just singing hallelujah like they just caught the Holy Ghost in church. I mean, it's awesome, guys. It's just awesome. So Pontiac, get ready. Get ready. That's all I can say.
All right. And Kermit, tell us what Juneteenth means to you, and then, how it feels to be on the cusp in a couple of days of really actualizing freedom for so many of your folks out there.
Well, Eddie's got me all fired up. I feel like preaching a little bit, but seriously, I'm so excited because this is not a one-off. And so we're doing a Warrant Clinic, but we are actually building not only community relationships between the judges, the criminal justice system, and the community, but also we're building long-term power for our people. And so when Black Voters Matter talk about actually mattering, and it's not just a slogan, it means a tremendous difference, because for a lot of people, Juneteenth has just become a party. It's no different from Cinco de Mayo or something else, but we're going to be using this as the kickoff and the catapult to actually making sure that people are liberated. And so to be able to not look over your shoulder, to be able to hug your kids, be able to pick them up from school without having to worry about getting pulled over in the parking lot, it's a huge thing. And so building trust in the community is huge. These Warrant Clinics should be everywhere. If somebody doesn't have one and they're watching this video, they need to call today to make sure that you have one in your community, because this starts taking back that 40 acres and a mule that was really promised during Reconstruction and other things that Black people got stripped away from them. And the through line with Oakland Forward is always economic justice. And so when we can get rid of fines, when we can get rid of fees, when we can get rid of people not being able to work, then we're making transformational change that's actually going to build our communities for the long run. So thank you so much, Anza.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, at Black Voters Matter, we have a lot of slogans. Can't stop, won't stop, right? 365. And so, Wanda, I know for you, you're on the bus around the country all the time, and a lot of our folks are really excited about Juneteenth. How does the Warrant Clinic land with them in the midst of the other activities? And then, just from your perspective, how does it feel to be an ambassador of through this program?
Well, when you frame it like that, it is special. Wow. I mean, when we think about the very essence of Juneteenth being about freedom, but delayed freedom, but at the same time, as an abolitionist, this is the tangible freedom that our people want, deserve, need, and sought. And so, the message may have come late, but the message came, and we are working on getting ourselves free. And so this is the Warrant Clinic, the epitome of just that same spirit. We are tackling and taking on a system that is not working for our people. And while we are reimagining and reshaping, reframing, maybe we're even tearing down a little bit of that current system, we have still managed through this program that you created to be working in that system. Because, a smart person once said to me, we can't burn down the building while our people are still in it. So we've got to figure out how to open up a back door to let our folks out while we still tearing that thing down from the front. And so as abolitionists, that's the mindset we have to have. We can't settle for anything. We have to always be in pursuit of our freedom. We have to define what our freedom and what our victories are. And so being able to be a part of that with so many different groups across the country, from now up in Michigan, like Devin said, the first Warrant Clinic above the Mason-Dixon line, over to North Carolina, down to Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, and all the other states in between will have an opportunity to not only see it, not only realize it, but help create it and actually execute and put it on. It's not a spectator sport, it's participatory. Folks like the folks up in Pontiac and over in Georgia and over in San Antonio have been hands-on with every aspect of this program. And so as we think about moving into Juneteenth and what that means and how we tie that together with this Warrant Clinic and the work that we're doing with all these amazing grassroots organizations, this is Freedom Summer, y'all. This is our freedom. This is an act of abolition. And that's what we are here to accomplish with our people and for our people.
Well, we could keep this up all night. I mean, Wanda's here giving a whole sermon after Eddie gave his sermon. Kermit and Autumn are just gearing up for what's going to happen this weekend. So their energy is overflowing. And, I believe I speak for everyone when I say that the energy of actualizing freedom for our folks in the midst of Juneteenth is a feeling that's unreplicated. All of us grew up with the holiday, and we each have individual opinions and we each do our own thing. But to be unified and to be bringing this type of freedom to folks around this time of year, it feels really good. And so with that, we're going to start to land this plane. I'm going to go around and get some last comments from folks. And then Wanda, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to close us out and close us out strong so that people, really understand the angle that BVM is coming from with Juneteenth in this program and how our efforts are going to continue to go on into the future, right? Eddie, why don't you give us just a couple of lines to close us out tonight? I appreciate you joining, brother. Close us out.
All right, it was my pleasure. I'm excited for Pontiac. Again, I know what you're going to experience. I pray that all hearts and minds are settled in that situation and it goes off well. I'm outside the Tubman Museum right now. I'm getting ready to go inside with our regional director, Ida, and my wife. They're on the inside. So we're working. I encourage you all to stay encouraged, stay on the battlefield, and hey, we got this.
All right. Thank you, Eddie. Autumn, it's Juneteenth coming up. We have a clinic on June 3rd in Pontiac, Michigan in a couple of days. You know, as Wanda just stated, the clinics have happened in Texas, in Louisiana, in Georgia, North Carolina, on and on and on. And this is the first one in Michigan. So what are your last words, ma'am?
You know what? I want to say that I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve. I am so extremely excited. The energy in our office is off the charts. And I want to say, I think that we're so much looking forward to Saturday, but the process that we've involved with Black Voters Matter and Anza and the whole team, that has been great for us. Just the community we built with you all, being able to listen to other people throughout the country, like Brother Eddie, and just the process of doing this has been building power within ourselves, within our team. We've seen it in individual canvassers. So it's like the transformation has already begun before we even step foot onto June 3rd. So I'm just excited.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Autumn. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Kermit, Eddie said y'all better get ready in Pontiac. So why don't you close us out with how you feeling tonight?
I feel really good. The best is yet to come, Eddie. So we're very excited about the changes happening. And so through this process, if anybody is listening, we really have become a family with the Black Voters Matter team, the Gray team. People flew in all the way from Louisiana to help train our canvassers. And one of our canvassers has been doing this work for about a year now. But when he heard about the Warrant Clinic, a light just went on. And so he's been rocking and rolling, and that same energy has infected the city of Pontiac, and I believe it can affect the whole country. And so I think that this is the first in many steps of moving the systems that have created the barriers that Black people face. And so at Oakland Forward, our mission statement is to engage, equip, and empower. And Black Voters Matter through the Warrant Clinic has been giving us the tools to do that, be a part of this. I'm telling you, my mama's excited. Everybody's excited about the clinic that's going to happen not only on June 3rd, but we're already planning for the next clinic and the clinic after that, because we know that if we can help people with their basic needs, we can convince them to do everything they need to do and empower themselves, including voting.
All right. Thank you so much, Kermit. We appreciate you joining tonight. Again, my name is Anza. Thank you all for joining tonight. The Warrant Clinic is alive, it's well, it's growing, it's thriving. And I hope you all enjoyed tonight's Policy Corner. And with that, I'm going to pass it to our fearless leader, our National Field Director, Wanda Mosley.
Thanks, Anza. Thanks, Eddie, Kermit, Anza, Eddie, Kermit, Autumn, and all the other grassroots organizations, partner organizations who throw down with us across the country in our pursuit of freedom for our people. You know, the work that we do at Black Voters Matter is definitely grounded in the community. It's an opportunity for us to save ourselves, empower ourselves, do for ourselves, get wins and victories for ourselves. It's an opportunity for the community to step up, to step in the limelight, to be in the forefront, and to be able to do work, and to be able to share your wisdom, your expertise, and all the things that you've done probably even before Black Voters Matter existed, but there wasn't an opportunity for you. And so if we can in some way inspire, support the work that you all are already doing, uplift, amplify, give you a few resources to grow the embers of the fire that was already burning in the community before we found you or you found us, then we are excited to play a role in that. We are excited to be able to support the work that happens all across what we call our core states: Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and then in some of our light states like South Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Wisconsin, Arizona, basically any place where there are Black people doing work who want to be free, who want to make an impact in their community. And when we think about, again, this idea of something called the Warrant Clinic, with this premise, this idea, this big dream that Black people can have an encounter with law enforcement and still make it home safe to their families. Because we know that traffic stops are one of the #1 ways that we have these encounters with law enforcement that don't always end well for our people. And so if we can mitigate and lessen that by clearing simple warrants, misdemeanor, petty crimes, things that people forgot about. I forgot I had that parking ticket. Or I stopped the date for my speeding ticket was on the 9th, but really it was the 7th because, you know, the handwritten number on that ticket just didn't look right. If we can help lift that, if we can eliminate that, and that it sets forth a path for freedom to our people, then we've had a good day. When we think about all the implications that happens when we have these failure to appears, these warrants, the loss of a license. The sister talked about she couldn't get an apartment. People can't get a government issued ID. So like brother said earlier, they're riding dirty. Or if they're trying to get a good job, they're getting paid under the table, not realizing the full potential of all their skills and all that they can bring to an employer. And so this is our way to help our people help ourselves. We know that we are smart people. We are resilient people. We are brilliant people. We make things happen in a system that we have to remember at one point in time looked at us as 3/5 of a person. And yet and still, we are here. We are thriving. We are getting stronger every day. And so again, I want to thank all of our grassroots partners, all the folks across the country who support us, who throw down with us. If you are just learning about us for the first time, or if you heard something today that you think sounds great and you might want to rock with us, connect with us. Follow us across all the social platforms. You're already here on one of them. Also, you can text us. Text "We Matter" to 25225. Again, our text number is 25225. Text "We Matter," because those are not just words we put on a card or a shirt or something. Those are words that we live by. That's what we believe. That's our mission, to help us understand and know that we matter and offer the empowerment that we need to see and realize change in our communities. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I'm wishing all the best to our folks up in Pontiac. Y'all gonna rock it out. And as we close out, we want you to remember, we got power, y'all. And when things come, things happen, they don't work our way, we don't give up. We don't quiet down. We don't back down. We don't sit down. And we for dang sure will never black down. Thank y'all. Good night.